Welcome everybody to another Fuel broadcast. I am your caster Newt. I'm joined by Dragon. We got some League of Legends tonight. How we feeling?
I'm feeling really good. Been a while since I've casted League. I think it's been a couple weeks or so now.
It's been a minute since we've casted League in
hot minute,
general.
yeah.
League team definitely, not been off to the hottest start so far this season. If we take a look at our schedule, we'll see 1-3 in the standings right now. Definitely not what we're wanting to see, but we are in Division 1. We're in. We've still been having some new roster struggles for sure, so it's still always time to bounce back. I think. We'll see. Obviously, Fuel Boys. I know they want to win, right? They're hungry for a win, but we'll see how they do against Bruton Parker Christian University,
Which is the people right above us, sitting at 2-2.
BPCU indeed. Yeah. So a somewhat even match, hopefully, right? Both teams kind of more towards the bottom of the standings, but our league team. I'm sure you guys, if you've tuned in, will have seen them, but it's been a minute, so let's take another look and see who we got. We got HDK in the support role, Zan ADC, Omega Boo, your captain in mid, Horus in jungle, and Top Guru, shockingly in the top lane. They're all in the room today. They are quite focused, actually, most of them. You see Omega Boo looking quite, deeply into his screen. So we'll see. Hopefully, coming up with game plans.
Yeah, they seem locked in. And we know, at least I know from previous games we've casted, like HTK especially just absolutely brutal with some of his tactics. The entire rest of the team could be doing something, but then HTK is just off in a random corner of the map just causing mayhem.
A little bit of a one-man army for sure, especially as the support player nowadays, right? Kind of causes a lot of those plays, makes those roams, makes those ganks. So you're going to see a lot of fighting around HDK. You're going to see, I hope, to see Fuel set up their jungler for success, as Horus hasn't had the greatest debut so far. But we'll see if he can, bounce back. Omega Boo and Zan are pretty much always solid in their roles. They'll always be valuable carries. And then Top Guru is always going to be a very good weak side player. But we'll have to see as the draft's going to play out. But we're not there yet, right? We still got to wait a little bit before our draft. But
I mean, but they want a good draft. I'm just saying the best thing they should do, Lux in the jungle, Fiddlesticks top lane. You'll win.
I'm going to have to disagree. But we'll see if they're going to draft that or not. Don't go anywhere.
You're my fireball. You won't have to crawl when you can fly away.
And here we are. We are back, starting off with our bans and our drafts. And already coming on the side of BPCU is a Fiora ban.
Fiora ban going to be the support ban. Mel ban makes a lot of sense for Fuel. Checking the OPGG of BPCU. Both their AD carry and main mid both have most games played on Mel. So just a double flex, a really strong character right now. Unfortunate to ban it away from Omega Boo, as he's been having quite a good showing on it himself. Solo queue and comp as well. We'll see where BPCU decides to go. We've seen a lot of Ezreal bans, a lot of Caitlyn bans. We've seen a lot of, there's always the chance of banning the Cho'Gath away from Horus. Xin Zhao could be banned as well, Diana. Support, you could see a Jax ban as well, so we'll see where they're going to go towards here. As I expect Fuel to probably just ban some Proud Champs. Trundle signifies we want an early Xin Zhao pick to me. One of the best champs into Xin Zhao, because you kind of just fight him in his zone. Caitlyn ban makes sense. Again, really strong for Zan. A good lane bully. So we'll see where they're going to go once this third ban comes in.
Is this ban where once these are banned, they're out for the game, or just for the series? Is
Just
this Fearless
game.
Draft?
It is Fearless Draft, so characters picked will be taken out for the rest of the series.
Okay.
But these bans are just this game. Viego ban as well, so trying to take these aggressive junglers out. But we are leaving Yunara, one of the strongest champs on the patch, open. So we'll see what Fuel's response is going to be. Typical response to Yunara will be those Corki lanes. So we'll see if Zan's willing to take the Corki trade, or if he's just going to stick to something more, the Kai'Sa style, Ezreal style. He has a lot of different angles he likes to go for. But again, Corki is the traditional main answer to this champ, as you're one of the only champs that can really match the laning power of Yunara, as well as scale into the game. We'll see. I'm expecting ADC jungle here. I think Ashe makes a lot of sense. Been really strong so far this Worlds. Like 100% win rate right now. Been quite a problem, especially with some of these better teams playing it.
I mean, if you know how to build her, especially with her ranged composition, if she can outrange Yunara, then that's a good advantage.
Does in fact outrange Yunara, able to contend that lane, and Xin Zhao pick is a must really for the side of Horus here. It's going to be his best jungler. That's mostly viable in competitive, and it kind of signified again. It was kind of given once Viego and Trundle ban came out. Jarvan we picked, a very strong jungle, always able to get onto those immobile carries, as Fuel officially does have one. Rumble tied up to it. This BPCU comp is the staple meta comp right now. Yunara, the strongest AD carry. Rumble, always valuable in the top lane because you can follow up on these engages with your ult. You're able to play weak side because you can clear those waves. You're able to play strong side.
Is Rumble the one where his ultimate, he literally just calls his mom?
No, that's Smolder. Rumble places
Smolder.
a line down that burns you. Ornn. Into Rumble, you'll see either Galio, Ornn, or Cassante. But with Top Guru's best champion being Ornn, makes a lot of sense to take that one away. So Fuel, not too bad coming out of these first three picks for sure. Definitely a bit scary because you are playing an immobile carry into Jarvan Rumble, especially if they try to follow that up with a mid laner. Silas ban, a very good one there for Fuel, just opens up a lot of damage. Braum ban makes sense. Don't want to give Ashe Braum her best partner.
That is a good combo.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm expecting Nautilus could be you could play the Bard here. Could go for like a Rel. There's a lot of things. I think Fuel might even have to ban the Rel themselves. I wouldn't be surprised, but Pyke instead being the hover is an interesting ban. Doesn't really provide the value that BPCU needs from a support. I mean, you want the follow up on that Jarvan engage, or to be able to your first engage. The Rel just looks really good here, so we'll see. Maybe Fuel's looking to take it away. As last ban here for BPCU, expecting another support ban, probably just a Nautilus.
You're thinking Nautilus? I wonder if it could be potentially like a DPS or maybe a mid laner.
It could be a mid ban, but I think because of how Galio ban, so it is going to be mid actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense. Really good into Rumble, just in general. Very safe mid laner, but I think Fuel's comp might lack a little bit of damage if they had a Xin Zhao or Galio frontline, especially considering what HDK likes to play. His Jax is open, but I don't think you're going to be blinding it. At the same time, support counter pick is definitely stronger than mid counter pick, but I think so far Omega Boo's been having a better year. So I wouldn't be opposed to seeing him have a counter pick, especially considering his lane is definitely one to watch. We'll see, though, as pick is going to be
Thresh.
A interesting lock. I'm not sure how the team's going to be feeling about that one. Nautilus can be taken instantly for BPCU. I think Rel is better, but actually Rel does get countered by the Thresh here. So the Nautilus makes a little bit more sense for sure.
And if you can get that hook in on a good play, it can be brutal. Nautilus is fun, especially with with that C mine ultimate.
Yeah, and here I need to see Fuel pick some sort of mobile mid laner. I think
Fiddlesticks.
you could probably not going to be the Fiddle. I think we're going to be seeing. I expect it could be the Ari. It could be a LeBlanc. You could look
What?
towards. You need something with mobility to be able to get out of those Jarvan ults. Because the Jarvan Rumble combo right now is just so deadly for the side of BPCU, especially with the Talia on top. I think now you're leaning. Well, you've kind of put yourself into a little bit of a pickle here for Omega Boo. I'm not sure exactly what his out is. I think Azir is probably your best bet. Maybe the Ahri as he's a little bit more comfortable on that, but we'll see. As the mid last pick, giving Boo R5, you want to find some real value here for sure if you're Fuel.
So I'm just curious, what's like kind of like the mobility structure? Because it seems that BPCU has very highly mobile champions aside from Nautilus.
And the last pick's gonna be Victor here, but yeah, I think honestly for BPCU, their comp is go in and blow up someone. So you'll see Jarvan ult with the Rumble on top. Nautilus might follow with an ult. Talia's gonna look for that W flick, that seismic shove, into her own rocks to try to get that extra burst. Yunara's gonna be their one backline carry, hitting from behind the front line. Their front line's really strong. Their team fight's really strong. Their side laning's really good. Their gank potential's really good. I think BPCU definitely coming out on top on the draft here. I think Victor's just not playable this game. You have two immobile carries versus a Jarvan Rumble Talia. Not a fan of this draft for Fuel for sure. I think you've put yourself into the exact spot that this Jarvan Rumble comp wants to play into. But I think you're really hard to bail yourself out after your 1, 2, 3, 4. Early picking Ashe just opens up that Jarvan Rumble so much.
But on the side of Fuel, like Thresh, Ornn, especially like at high level, they can become a problem. So I'm wondering if BPCU is trying to go for like a fast early game blitzkrieg because they know if they end up bogged down in some form of stalemate battle of attrition, Fuel can strengthen and just start hitting back 10 times as hard.
Yeah, I mean Fuel's team does scale quite well, but the problem with their scaling is that as BPCU's team gets more and more gold, more and more levels, more and more items, their one shot combo just becomes that much stronger, and the Ashe and the Victor just can't survive through it. Boo for sure has to go the Roa build this game. There's no world you can go any build other than tanky-ish Victor, or else you're just gonna get blown up every fight. He needs to position well. He needs to play around where this Jarvan and this Nautilus are. Fuel's definitely fighting uphill, but it is doable.
Okay, well, we'll have to see what happens as they start to load in, and hopefully we'll see you at game 1. Stay tuned.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the 9th week of the Fuel Esports Weekly Update. Playoff season is right around the corner, so let's talk about what's coming up as we roll into November. As for what's happened this week, we held our Monday Night Chess Night last night in the FSU Clubs room. Despite the smaller venue, you guys still brought the energy, and we hope you enjoyed. As for Fuel Esports competition, teams are finally starting to wrap up the regular season, including Fuel Esports Call of Duty, who qualified for the NACE Varsity Premier Playoffs. They'll be playing starting next week for their spot in the Varsity Super Conference next season. We wish them the best of luck. To see all of our daily score reports, make sure you follow us at FanshawFuel on all socials. And if you don't ever want to miss a broadcast, find us at twitch.tv/FanshawFuel or on Rogers TV on channel 13. As for what's coming up this week, we'll be back with another Monday Night Game Night for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and Melee on November 3rd. You can join us in Four-Wall Hall at 6 p.m. for friendlies before the official bracket begins at 7. We're also counting the days until our Battle of the Forest City Charity Land with Western Esports and Gaming Association. You can donate to the cause at fsu.ca/extralife and make sure you attend the live show in Four-Wall Hall on November 8th. That's all for this week. Follow us at FanshawFuel so you don't miss any weekly updates, and we'll be back with another one next Tuesday.
And here we are right into game 1. Fuel Esports versus BPCU. Fuel going to be on the red side looking for a little bit of an invade. They do have the Thresh Hook. They have an Ornn. Victor loves to get active early. Ashe, so strong early game as well. But they're actually just stacking to make sure Nautilus isn't looking for anything fancy himself, wanting to counter the invade of BPCU. We'll see, as this does give the chance for BPCU's jungler to walk in, get a ward maybe, but instead he might be a little too late. He's going to meet up with Horus here. Will be spotted out in the entrance. Just going to have to back out through River. See, and I mean, the rune's going to be pretty normal. Nothing too fancy here. Comet for your Rumble makes sense. You know, you have to go the phase rush here for Talia. I think overall, everything makes a lot of sense. You know, Aftershock for Thresh is a little interesting. Normally more Guardian type of champion, but we'll see how these early lanes are going to play out.
Yeah, we just saw like a little engagement from Nautilus Guru getting hit just a little bit, and it seems now a little bit of a steady stalemate, which is fairly common for the early game. We gotta wait for the minions to show up, but we're going to start seeing battles. But Nautilus top.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Top. Yeah, Nautilus looking for something here, but we'll see. As good trading here for Boo in the mid lane, taking that laser to start. Not really what you expect from the Victor, but Victor does have a stronger level 1 than the Talia. Going to dodge out those rocks, only get hit by the first one. So nice early trading here for Boo, which is pretty important as he kind of has to get ahead this game to really have much value whatsoever. Rumble, Ornn, top, just going to be trading level 1, but the Ornn is definitely going to be losing those. That is Rumble, yeah. In his little mech suit. See, as level 2 is hit for Molodoi. Going to have to run
Nautilus.
We're losing in the bot lane here, right on top of the for Hook. HTK hits it. They did hit level 2 first, as the Ashe always has that pressure. And a half HP Nautilus level 1 is going to be a good start to the laning phase for Fuel here. They are evenly trading, but again, Rumble winning that bot side, or that top side, as well as Jarvan having a little bit of an outpace on this Xin Zhao clear. Xin just having a little bit of a slower early game clear here because he started those Raptors. See, he can bounce back, get in time to contest this Scuttle Crab, or if it's just be gone for the way of Jarvan.
Well, as we start going into these minor skirmishes, it's just a matter of just kind of maintaining some form of a front line. You've got to just start picking off, tagging. If you can just start clipping off health and just start bleeding out of it, that will be extremely beneficial. However, it does come down to who can. You can see Guru going in for a charge, but the problem is they just do not have the health to deal with Rumble. We might see First Blood coming in on the side of BPCU, but nope. Guru manages to get out just in time using the protection of the tower to their advantage.
Guru going to be in trouble, though, for sure. This wave will crash for Molodoi. Now, we'll have the TP back. Could look for a dive here for BPCU, as the jungler is in the top side. Both junglers just going to trade their own respective Scuttle Crabs. It looks like Jarvan's actually going to be maybe looking for something on Boo here in the mid lane, as hunting Boo walks in, does not get hit by the Flagging Drag, has to flash the Seismic Shove. So a nice little pace there for Jarvan. I believe actually the Jarvan player's name might be Jarvan the Fourth.
Wait,
I think that's their IGN.
No, yeah, that is.
Yeah,
Jarvan the Fourth is Jarvan the Fourth.
Yeah, so they're definitely maybe a little bit of a specialist, hopefully, right? If you're named Jarvan. But we'll see. Yeah,
you find it's their first time ever
lane
playing
definitely
Jarvan.
going to be in a little bit of trouble right now until he's going to be able to get those first couple null magic mantles into the inventory. Bot lane, however, it's going to be pretty even, but Zan and HTK will still have that push, have that advantage. They do have to be careful, as the Jarvan's going to be coming right back down to get his respawning Raptors and Krugs. So we could look for something. Earliest plays, really, though, are going to be on these level 6 timers when Jarvan and Talia can kind of link up and get these plays going. But I think also you can maybe look for a dive top lane at some point. These grubs are going to be a little bit harder to fight for sure because of the fact that Rumble has that flash advantage over Hero 1. Just has that lane advantage. Guru trading back. Just a bit of trouble.
Yeah, and that flamethrower out from Rumble is just brutal. You get a full face full of that, that is just health taken away completely.
Another even trading here in the mid lane. Actually going to be one out by Superboy. Who's just looking to get these stacks, get up his passive to try to get this evolved. He has about 52 now, so halfway to getting that first Evo. See, it's TP back from Rumble in the top lane, but it looks like an aggressive trade here. Val might be in trouble. Ooh, should just win this pretty cleanly.
First Blood.
Can now turn on to Oz. Does flash the hook beautifully there, but Zan living with 1 HP. HTK should just be able to win this out. Doesn't need help from Zan. Needs to not get hit by the circle. Does not indeed. HTK, the last auto. A clean 2v2 for the side of Fuel. It looked a little bit dire at some point, but Superboy is here, which means Fuel has to back off. They can't get the wave shoved in. Horus might have to just sack this next camp to try to play to push this wave out, but it doesn't look doable. He is coming down to try to maybe make a play onto Superboy here, who does not have the seismic shove, but instead just going to go right back to the Gromp. Actually going to cover out mid lane with bot wave here. Just make sure not to give any plates over, as you don't want to give any leads early, as you are in a good spot now with your bot lane getting that trade. Horus splitting out Superboy, trying to find something. But again, they're just going to lane swap here. Ooze and Vow are just going to go mid lane, so you're going to see Jarvan up in top lane looking for this dive, as Rumble is level 6 and the Ornn is still level 5. Should be a clean dive. I don't think you can really respond to it if you're Fuel. You don't have any TPs. Guru just kind of knows he's in trouble. Did hit level 6 though now, as he's just going to try to launch off the wave.
Well, now here we go. A 2v1 going in. Guru getting shredded out by that flamethrower, and unfortunately is taken out. And yeah, it is a 1-for-1.
A well-played dive for the side of Guru there. Honestly, BPCU just played it a little bit too fast. Played it correctly. As soon as that Ornn ult comes in, it's just a little bit problem. Jarvan didn't end up flashing. He could have tanked, I think, another power shot, which would have kept Molodoi alive. But again,
we at least get a
now,
dragon.
The Drake is on the side of Fuel and a 1-for-1 on the top lane. So your weak side top laner of Guru doing his job. He is down roughly 20 CS though, but that's kind of expected. Now he has the Spectral Cowl, so he'll be able to lane a little bit easier as he has this healing, has this MR. Mountain Drake, the first one taken for Fuel, would also help his laning as he gets those resistances. That MR crucial.
Oh, that was a good hit.
Yeah, Boo's going to start dealing damage. He is going towards the Roa build I was mentioning, as he just kind of has to this game. You have to be able to survive these dives, these all-ins from BPCU's team. And now this lane that is level 6, here's where Guru can kind of start to play again, and it looks like Zan just happened to get a kill as Horus played a gank immediately after the bot lane of BPCU kind of falling apart against Fuel's bot lane here. Zan 3-0 to start this game off a very hot start.
And I know that like we're pretty early, like you did not have faith in this composition whatsoever.
When did Talia fall?
Talia's dead.
Talia somehow died as well to Zen there. Didn't quite catch that one. See a kill? But yeah.
People are just dying left, right, and center.
Zan has 3 kills right now. Zan, I was Jarvan looking for something mid. Yeah, I mean, I think early games definitely where Fuel's going to shine. These level 6 spikes are kind of fair for BPCU, but their bot lane's always going to have some problems. The Yunara and the Nautilus especially can't really play into this Ash Thresh. But I think, again, as we're going to get later into these games, as these ult turns come in, as these team fights start coming into play, you're going to see Jarvan, Talia, Rumble just kind of make some value plays, as Horus is going to be here top lane. The Rumble ult, the Equalizer, is forced out by Molodoi. I don't know if it's enough. Horus might be overplaying it, though. Horus just cannot be sitting there face tanking, as now Guru is going to fall, try for a double brittle play just to get out, but does fall after using the charge.
Jarvan the 4th.
Just an overplay by Horus. He's just sitting there tanking the Rumble overheat damage, who does so much damage, especially on these item components. You just have to flash out earlier or burn your ult. Either way, just uses the ult and then falls in the end. What should have been a clean 1-for-0 there for the side of Fuel, maybe a 1-for-1 as the Jarvan comes back, ends up being a 2-for-1 in favor of BPCU, and they're going to get those grubs off that.
Really, really good even play that seems to go more into the favor of BPCU, but we can see another engagement, potentially a 2v2 in the bottom lane, but you can see the Nautilus holding back, making sure that they can support their teammate. HDK goes to get some health and might be going for a flank here.
Just looking to clear out the vision, looking to get the wards themselves, looking for a hook here. Does catch off onto Ooze. He's going to be in trouble as the Ash arrow, the enchanted crystal arrow, and that's just going to be a one-shot onto the Yunara. Another double kill here for Fuel's bot lane as both flashes. The flash going to be used for the side of Nautilus. Zan gets a 4th kill for himself. The bot lane of Fuel is completely running over this game. But the gold lead is still roughly only 1k, and that's off the back of the fact that your top laner is down 30 CS and is going to be down a solid 700 gold. Your jungler is going to be down a solid 4. Mid is going to be up 2, and then there's going to be a 1.4k lead in the bot lane for both roles. So your lead's all bot lane. Guru not doing too bad, though, on this weak side. Only down about 700 gold after getting those 2 trade kills in the gank and then also in that dive. So too bad so far for Fuel. A good opening, but again, once these Jarvan Rumble combos start to come online, as these are the 2 members of BPCU that are ahead, it's where you're going to start to struggle, I think. Especially once those flashes are burned, once those lanterns are burned. see though, as Boo trying to keep this just small lead built for himself in this mid lane. Does now have the upgraded E, so he's going to be able to push these waves a lot faster with that double laser. As the first items are going to be coming in for about every player. First item completed in the game is going to be that Sundered Sky for Jarvan, which means BPCU, they kind of want to fight on this timer. Zin doesn't have has his own Sundered. And you're not going to have those old items built yet for your bot lane. Val finds Boo here, but it's not going to be much outside of just a hook.
Yeah, and you can see those lasers hitting in, just chipping in. Horus, though, might end up in a 3v1, getting absolutely pinned. Rooted, struck, is getting out for Val. Boo comes in for the assist, but it's just not enough.
Way too late of a flash there for Horus. You just have to play it early. O's, though, going to fall here as Zan flash auto, and then the Lantern to get out to safety. So, again, the bot lane is going to fall. A good punish for Fuel there on the side of, on the Nautilus roam, but they're just going to get dove there. Boo, going to lose so much because his jungler is a little too quick, walks into the face check of the Jarvan, and then just doesn't put his flash early enough, as all of a sudden, I mean, what should have just been an easy 1-for-0 for the bot lane ends up being a 2-for-1 for BPCU, and now they can look towards this next objective, which is going to be the Drake in 10 seconds, but instead, Jarvan here on the enemy Krugs is going to look for a dive on Guru.
Horus is coming up.
Horus is here, is ready to play on it, but Jarvan with a good sidestep and is going to be able to get out safely as Boo's TP was in fact force equalizer, though lots of damage here in this choke point as Jarvan look maybe punish Horus, who's going to overextend here, does get caught. Again, both junglers now having their Sundered Sky. The Xin Zhao will win in these extended trades, especially without the team, as Superboy does come here, but misses the seismic shove, and now Boo's Chaos Storm should do so much damage overall in this neutral play. Fuel should be able to play towards this Drake.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that Horus was also getting engaged by mutated chickens behind him in the jungle. And it was just the chickens plus the enemy. It was just not really good, as well as the rest of the team falling back. But now everybody has to win a team fight in order to go after this next Drake. It's all going to come down to the next team fight for that advantage.
Yeah, Fuel going to stop that dive from happening. A little bit of a just Jarvan looking for something. Almost found a pick onto Horus, but was just slightly off on the flag and drag, which means now Fuel, they kind of have control of this mid push. Which means they'll be able to walk into this river a little bit easier. Your Xin Zhao is now pretty much even on the Jarvan. You know, Merc Threads are going to be nice, especially into this Ashe Thresh comp, but it's not going to be a game changer here. You still have your Sundered Sky for Xin. He does have his ultimate, which can buy a lot of time. And no flash on Jarvan is pretty crucial. Rumble does have TP. He's going to race to TP here and try to play this, but it's just gone because of how much stronger this Ashe is right now on this timer. Zan is just so much stronger than the opponent.
And now the Ocean Drake falling to Fuel. That puts 2 Drakes in the pocket of Fuel.
Yeah, Drake stacking online, and now we're going to see Soul entirely is the League Observer client. Only the Ocean Drake. Ocean Drake both taken. Still a good trade here onto Superboy as HDK finds that flash hook, and Horus can be able to clean it up with Boo getting that last auto just before the flash. Great flash Q there from HDK to catch out Superboy in the mid lane, as well as a good play from Boo. Fuel, they're going to try to keep this lead building, but it's still just a 1k gold lead. The game is still almost dead even, and it's, again, just your top and your jungle are just that little bit behind.
But overall, it seems fairly even. Already, Fuel leads by just 5 kills, but the gold lead is still just around 1k.
Yeah,
almost.
It's just not enough of a lead. I think Fuel, you need to be more ahead. As again, this Jarvan Rumble comp, when you're even or ahead, it can kind of just take over your carries. I need to see some good Lantern usage for sure from HDK. Now, right now is where, if you're BPCU, you're looking for a fight, as both carries of Fuel have no flash. So as soon as that Lantern is used on one of them, the next one is an easy dive target. Boo is a little bit harder to dive, just has a little bit more health because of that Rod of Ages. But still, not too hard to dive when you have a Jarvan Rumble to Leah Nautilus. As HDK might actually be the one in trouble, but Zan cannot be standing here, does dodge it out. But yeah, I mean, you just see the problem, right? You just get ulted on, the Rumble ult comes in. Boo is going to be 1v2 here. Horus finally comes, but gets hooked back by Val, and now might be in trouble for Superboy. Boo is going to be fighting out Superboy. And the fight is all in the favor of BPCU here.
Well, you still have Boot and Guru to deal with, but the problem is you already have 3 casualties to your name.
They can't survive this.
Nope.
They can't get any kills. They're just playing to survive as Val's going to hook in, try to pick off Boo, but there's just no follow-up for the side of BPCU. Overplaying it here means Guru might be able to pick off Molodoi here. Will indeed, as Superboy cannot really fight this Ornn out. Just has to disengage. Look for something here. Guru just walking in, tanking this damage. Has so much MR right now. But in the meantime, you let your mid turret fall to the Yunara, who got some more gold into her pocket. A 0-4 Yunara should never be even CS with an Ashe who is this ahead. But it's just the fact that Fuel makes a little bit of an overplay on the top lane, trying to find a play for this Herald. Gets engaged onto their flashless Ashe, as well as their Thresh just being in a bad position means you can't lantern him out. Jarvan ult, Rumble ult comes in, just one-shot Zan, and Boo just doesn't have enough damage, and Zan's going to be in trouble here again. Does have the flash this time, so won't fall as the Flay is going to stop the Jarvan engage, so a good peel there for the side of Fuel, but still, you're on the back foot now, you're behind gold all of a sudden.
And already that seems it's just not looking well, especially as towers are falling on the side of Fuel. I'm curious though, who has like the better drag ability between Nautilus and Thresh? Because Nautilus hooks and then pulls himself towards the target, while Thresh hooks and pulls the target towards him. What's more better?
Nautilus on average has a better hook. It's easier to hit. It has a little bit more CC, and you can get those knockups, that auto follow-up as well as a knockup. Thresh hook, it's good. It's just a little bit harder to hit. It's not as consistent, and you don't have that same clear engage as a Nautilus does, who has that point-and-click ultimate to knock you up. So I think you're still going to see value be in favor of the Thresh or for the Nautilus for these engage. You can't really engage into BPCU because their only role of BPCU is to run into you. You just have to play and kite it out and then play the range advantage you have. So Fuel should never really be diving in. The hooks are all peel hooks in this game.
Okay, so mainly what Fuel, if they want to win these fights, they have to kite them.
They do. They have to kite out the initial engage of the Jarvan, Rumble, Nautilus, Talia.
Oh, no.
Speaking of Nautilus and Rumble, they're going to look for a play on Boo here. He is going to be able to survive out as Molotov. Not finding damage here on the Rumble. Does have 2 items, though, completed. This Rumble is scary, but Boo, fearless, does get caught by that Harpoon. PK is here, though, to stop any dive, any overplay, as Zan and Boo going to trade lanes here. Zan coming right back into the bot lane, as Drake's going to be spawning in 20 minutes. You will definitely want this, but HDK might be in trouble. The Ashe arrow comes in. They're just going to get blocked by Val. Now, HDK might be in trouble. She's able to play out slowly, though, as they don't know where the Xin Zhao is. If they knew he was top lane, I think they would have played way faster on that.
Probably, and already you can see that Fuel is kind of sticking close together as they know that Drake is coming in just now. They're going to just go for it right now, even though how close BPCU is. So it might be a Drake and a team fight that could determine it, or BPCU could potentially steal.
But yeah, it looks to be a bit of a flip here for Jarvan, who's going to look for a flag and drag over, is going to get the steal.
Oh!
Will be stuck in the, actually able to take the Herald out of the pit. A very fun tech there
Denied.
to make sure that you don't. But HDK is going to chase this Herald and is going to catch Vow in the meantime, who stops the chase. Is going to fall here. Yeah, here you're going to see HDK missing the flash hook, as Ooze is going to be fighting Boo on the side here. But Zan going to live again. Superboy on the side is not finding any value with these rocks. Boo fighting out the Yunara, does end up winning that, as the Talia dove straight into the team of Fuel. A big misplay there for your Talia for the side of BPCU, as they're going to stop this Herald from doing anything. They do lose the Drake, and now the fights coming up are going to be a lot harder, as really what the problem with that fight for BPCU is both Zan and Boo had their flashes up, so they would be able to kite engage. Now there's no flash on Zan, no flash on Boo, no flash on Forest. All 3 are engageable on. You just have to make sure you play around the Lantern. So even though, again, you're still 0-9 in your bot lane here for the side of BPCU, but you're even CS on your Yunara. Your Nautilus will still pretty much always have value. Your Rumble is quite ahead, but your Ornn is getting into the game. He's 4-2 now. Imagine he's not down too much gold at this point, but still going to be down a pretty decent chunk. As the Jarvan is going to be it's going to be ahead of your Xin. He's already getting towards that Cleaver here. As Xin is also getting towards his item as well, but I believe Jarvan should hit it first. Based off overall gold. See though, as next objective is going to be Baron and this Drake in 3 minutes, or actually Otacon. I always forget this objective sometimes. Otacon here is spawned in the top lane, so Fuel going to look for this, as they do find a hook onto Superboy, but HK is not going to be able to follow up on that and might actually be in trouble himself. He overplays this, and this is the problem. Your Thresh just can't be playing aggressive in these spots. The Ash Arrow goes wide for Zan. And Fuel, they might just have to give this up. They're going to have to play a slow fight if they do want to play poke, but now that their mid is pushed out, top is pushed out, no Thresh. You just don't have the ability to kite out the engage of BPCU, so I think the Otacon's going to fall in favor of them. They're going to hunt, though. They want some picks. They want to find someone. They know there's a flashless Ash and a good wall, but it's just going to barely miss out. Need to be a little bit more forward there. Will not catch out Zan. I mean, Zan's able to get out without using any abilities there. Still control this bush so heavily, and Fuel just can't walk into them.
And now, but the thing is, HDK is coming back, and it seems we're just seeing a skirmish here in this top jungle. They want to win this team fight so they can focus on the Otacon. We can see Boo and Jarvan about to engage, but the thing is, we already know Jarvan can win this fight, and the rest of BPCU is coming in and are just starting to cluster in, followed in by Fuel.
What a
Casualty
rumble
goes down to Boo. Superboy takes out HTK.
Zan's untouched. Zan's untouched in the back so far. But it doesn't matter. He gets caught by the hook of Val.
Kill.
A complete ace for the side of BPCU. And really, that is off the back of a fantastic look. A fantastic flank from Jarvan there. Finding that engage onto Boo, who knows is flashless. Who's just walking a little too aggressive in that jungle. He has to walk a little safer there. As then he gets caught. His Thresh is not there for the Lantern in time. And then a Rumble ult tears through the health bar of BPCU. I imagine that fight, 90% of the damage was from the Rumble. Just the ult was cooking all members of Fuel.
Oh yeah, no, that was
Chorus.
perfectly done.
Yeah, and Zan was trying to hit back as much as possible, but it just wasn't doable.
BPCU wanted barbecue, and they got it.
They did indeed, and now they're going to be in a almost 3K lead here, which they're going to look towards this Otacon. However, they do not have their ults are coming up so quick. Rumble ult's already back up. Jarvan ult's back up. You won't have Nautilus ult, but all you need is your Jarvan Rumble when you still don't have Flash on Zan. And now HK looking to check that bush with a hook, but it's just going to get chased out by Moladoy, who is so close to overheating. Ready to burn down any member of Fuel who oversteps.
We're about to see what happens here. We might see another team fight in jungle. The chickens are coming out to play, but we're getting absolutely shredded. You want to get rid of those.
And if you're Fuel, it's fun from bad to worse. I mean, now you're down 4K. This Otacon is guaranteed to fall, and I'd imagine this Yunara is only down about 1k gold. You should, for being 7-2 and being 0-5 at one point, it should be a much bigger lead in the bot lane. But the Yunara farmed well, got 3 kills in that last exchange, which means they're going to be up to 3-5 in a very good spot now. This Rumble for BPCU just does not seem to have an answer. Guru could match it in the side lane, but once it comes to the team fights, their team fighting is just so good. It's so hard to deal with the team comp that BPCU has drafted with the comp that Fuel has. You just have 2 immobile carries who are so easily jumped on. Now both have flashes coming up soon, but BPCU doesn't care. HDK's going to be in trouble, and again, that's their only escape from the engage, remember. So now, BPCU can just keep playing aggressive. Their Jarvan can look for an engage. Flash is coming up on Zan ever so shortly, and Boo as well, so they will have flashes for this next team fight, but the second Drake, second chem tag going over to BPCU. They're now even on Drakes. They're up on Grubs. They had the Herald. They have Otacon. They're up on Flowers, and they're up 4k gold.
This seems that the balance of power in this engagement have fallen slowly more and more into BPCU's favor, especially as we're now getting into the mid to late.
I think for Fuel's comp, you just can't even going into mid-game. I think as soon as you hit mid-game, you have to have a lead generated. You need your Xin Zhao to get these plays going around on your map, because you should have winning lane bot, winning lane mid. You'll have losing lane top, but you should get more value out of these ganks, as Jarvan was just able to find too much value with 2 losing lanes, as well as able to stop the Rumble snowball. Yunara wasn't cut down enough.
Oh, there you go, there you go.
They do pick off the Rumble on the side, though, an overplay here for the side of BPCU, but he takes the Lantern through the Talia rocks, which means Boo's just going to fall. Forgetting that interaction that the Talia, the Jarvan, or the Thresh, I know the champions. The Thresh Lantern is a dash, and that's a triple kill for Jarvan here. 20-19, but the gold lead is almost 6k here, as the tier 2 turret is going to fall bot lane. This Jarvan is just able to do whatever he wants. A 2k gold lead for himself, a 3k gold lead in the top lane, a 2k gold lead in the mid lane, And now, I don't know if you noticed, but bot lane's dead even.
Bot lane has been even.
Bot
And
lane, this reminder, this Yunara was 0-5 at one point, and this Zan had 7 kills. He was like 7-1, and now they're dead even gold. This lead from Zan early game, not finding anything. Horus, though, may have found Superboy. A good sidestep on that seismic shove, but the phase rush to run out is going to get caught by that charge here, as the Ash Arrow is going to find its mark. Good pick there on the side for Fuel, which means the Baron will not be able to be started up for BPCU immediately, but you do lose 2 key ultimates, especially the one that makes you so tanky, the one that makes Horus able to play the game. This Jarvan has a full Spirit Visage up on Zin right now, on Horus, which means he's just not going to take any damage from this Victor, who is really the only damage threat outside of this Ash, who can kind of just get blown up. They are going to start. Fuel going to look for a Baron flip here, but you're just playing into BPCU's hand.
yeah, because look who's coming in.
You're playing in a tight corridor. The Rumble is a little bit late here. Jarvan is going to get spotted out by those lasers, by those hooks, by the ward. HDK going to make sure they cannot get a engage steal here with a flag and drag. Will have to flash in if they want to make anything happen. But in the meantime, all members of BPCU have arrived, and they're just playing the team fight. Jarvan comes in, does not get stopped by HDK. Every member of Fuel in trouble. The Yunara did fall to Horus. Val dashing back. Voladoy actually seems to be in trouble, but Jarvan is here as the Talia comes in with a beautiful Weaver's Wall. The rocks come out. Not able to do anything. Another triple kill for the Jarvan. 10, 2, and 12 for the jungler of BPCU this game. The Baron is bound to fall, and a 1k gold lead is on the horizons for the side of BPCU. Fuel just really have not found the answer. They have not found anything against this engaged comp. BPCU, it looked maybe a little bit hard as the Rumble got picked off early. It was just the Jarvan and a 1 HP Nautilus, but it didn't matter as the Jarvan just has so much health, so much tankiness, so much damage. He's so ahead. Level 15 already on this Jarvan here, as he's just able to take those engaged turns on and off every single time, and then waited for the Talia to come in with the Weaver's Wall, find that assist with those rocks on the ground with a seismic shove, able to take that fight cleanly. BPCU get the Baron, 1 minute till Drake. They're probably just going to get a 3rd Drake in a row.
And it definitely seems like, as you said, Fuel had a very, very rough composition at the start, and it's proving the longer this fight goes on, the stronger BPCU has gotten.
It's so hard to play into this Jarvan comp. You just don't have any mobility on your carries. This Jarvan Rumble can just completely blow you up. The whole point of Jarvan is he puts you in a box. The whole point of Rumble is he burns people who aren't in his line.
He's literally just a walking flamethrower.
He is. And so Jarvan might be in trouble here, but the Sunder Sky is going to keep him alive. A beautiful flag and drag there. The Rumble ult catches both carries of Fuel. And another ace is here. A triple kill for the Rumble. An extra kill in the pocket of Jarvan. 11, 2, and 16, 11, 6, and 14. The top jungle of BPCU, tearing this game wide open. But a 4, 4, and 16 performance from the Talia is not bad either. BPCU going to take the first game after a hard-fought one, and it just fell apart for Fuel after a certain point.
At least the bright side is they can't pick these champions again, right?
Jarvan out, Rumble out, Zhao out for us, out, Lord out. We'll see if Fuel can find the answers in this game too. If they can find their footing, they're going to go down 1-0 in this series.
So going into game 2, what do you think has to change for Fuel? I think what they need to do is they need high damage, high mobility.
I think you just need to draft according to what the enemy team is drafting. I think there you see a hard engage comp 1, 2, 3. I don't think you can pick an immobile carry on 5. I just think it's just not possible to play Victor that game. His lane went okay, but after the Jarvan gets onto him, as soon as he loses his flash, it's just impossible. And when your Thresh, who's your only escape option, is your frontline engage, is just getting picked off in the front line too much, it's just impossible.
What about drafting champions that have rooting, stunning, and AoE?
I think, yeah, Fuel could definitely look for a team fight comp. I'd like to see, maybe a bit more of an engaged champ here for HDK. Seems like he wants to play in that front line. I want to see a little bit more carry potential from the side of Boo. I want to see Horus on a champion he's comfortable on, something that he can make value in the game, and he needs to find this value. On the Xin, you just didn't find the early value. The Jarvan outpaced you when you have 2 winning lanes. It's just not possible.
So I guess we'll have to find out in game 2 and when we talk about the next set of drafts, what the changes are going to be and if Fuel has a chance to take game 2.
We will indeed.
And here we are with the ban phase of Game 2. Already we see the classics, BPCU banning out both Fiora and Caitlyn. And already you can see the same bans, the first 3 bans being completely the same.
I think here is where we'll see maybe some adaptation. I mind sticking the Trundle. I thought maybe we wouldn't be banning the Trundle Viego because we're not picking the Xin anymore. Maybe banning different junglers, but we'll see. As you're going to be Caitlyn ban, I'm expecting the same 3rd ban. Again, I don't see why.
Who was the 3rd ban again?
BPC would change. That's a great question. It wasn't Skarner, though, so you
No.
know what? Apparently different 3rd ban. But yeah, no, I mean...
Well, after the composition of last time, it kind of, like I said, threw you off, and we kind of saw it did not work well in Fuel's favor, so something has to change in this game, too, for Fuel to bring us into a Game 3. A Mumu ban. That's a
ban?
Yeah, maybe.
An interesting ban.
Or maybe
I
play
think
as a Mumu.
Looks like we're just going to take the Viego yet
Pantheon.
again. Pantheon first pick. No more Talia open, though, so we'll be seeing no Pantheon Talia combo, but this is a flex between jungle and support mainly. Fuel here. Judging by Hortus's champ pool, I'm expecting Volibear, I think is where I'm leaning towards.
Volibear?
Yeah, I think Volibear could be a Diana angle.
Wukong.
Wukong's an interesting one. Haven't seen much Wukong from the side of Horus, but it is, I think, still probably the best jungler in the game. outside of maybe Jarvan's in some spots, but I think overall Wukong just has so much value just in his entire kit. Team fight, ganking, early game. Ezreal going to be picked here. Zan's signature back for a while now, but hasn't been playing it too much recently. Had a pretty good showing on it in a game that was not streamed, but I believe last time streamed was not the greatest of performances, so we'll see if he can bounce back from that. The Kai'Sa pick, the classic pick into the Ezreal, always kind of just the counter, because you can always dive on the Ezreal, you always win that 1v1. Your kit in general just kind of perfectly counters Ezreal. We'll see as the Akali, a full dive comp here for BPCU. They want to blow up all squishies of Fuel.
They're out for blood.
They want blood for sure.
Because we've seen Pantheon, Kai'Sa, and Akali all play, and they are brutal, especially in the mid game. Sion
is a fantastic pick. So strong in this top lane. Able to pretty much play into any lane possible. I'm expecting, however, we will see the Ambessa ban, which is the #1 pick into the Sion right now. Gwen ban makes a lot of sense as well. Not as strong right now, but still always good. Always good into those tanks.
Gwen has the giant scissors, right?
And does have the scissors. Yeah, loves to snip away. Karma ban here for the side of BPCU has to. You have to ban Karma Ezreal every time. It's just the strongest comp with Ezreal. I'm expecting Braum ban, to be honest, as your next ban. I think if you don't ban Braum, you're kind of you're making a mistake, as Braum does really well into this engage comp from BPCU, and Ezreal Braum is a fantastic duo. We'll see what Fuel's going to ban. I think if you don't ban Ambessa, you're opening yourself to just such a good dive comp for the side of BPCU. Ambessa opens up this dive as a first engage option a lot better. Ambessa ban, yep, I think it's a must here. It's good into the Sion in lane. It can scale well. Braum ban as well, yeah. Must bans here, really. All 4 bans make complete sense for the side of both teams. Seeing what Fuel's going to be picking here, I'm expecting a blind support. The question is, what are we going to look towards here? You are versus an engage comp, so I'm not against, an engage of your own. I'm also not against, maybe more of an enchanter, but judging by HTK, I think Alistar kind of where I'm leaning right now. Maybe he'll take out the Rel. Orianna, though, we're just going to pick mid lane. We don't care about mid lane showing. Of course we're not going to pick support. Forgot Akali was picked already. So yeah, Orianna, already Wukong, extremely strong combo. Orianna, one of the strongest mid laners right now. So we'll see how he can match up into the Akali. It's quite a good lane for Akali, though, or it's quite a good matchup for Akali, as after that early lane, you kind of just can blow her up. Yone pick. So again, just sticking to this full dive comp here is BPCU. Yone going to be the top laner. A very flippy game. Alistar taken away from Fuel. Here's your response for the support now. Is Poppy your only answer? I think Poppy makes a lot of... Poppy's really good here. I think if you're Fuel, you should be picking the Poppy every time. It's something HDK's shown he likes to play. It's something that, yeah, Poppy going to be locked in. I mean, you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dash champions. And you want a champion that can stop a dive. No champion can do it better than Poppy. A beautiful pick there for Fuel to round out their draft. Their draft is really standard. It's going to play front to back. You have those frontline units. You have those dive units, but you're probably going to be playing more Peel with that Poppy, with that Wukong playing Peel, Sion playing Peel. As BPCU, they have one mode. They're going in, and there's nothing else.
So
Kai'Sa is going to ult in. Pantheon is going to flash W in or ult in. Yone is going to ult in. Akali going to look for a one-shot on one of your backliners. The problem with Fuel, they have to be careful on side lanes. The Yone, Akali, Pantheon can do so much damage on side lane as they can 2v2 pretty much anyone. And then also, Kai'Sa can join from wherever because of her ultimate having that global range.
So what we're seeing here specifically is you have Flash versus Dive. You have BPCU on the side of heavy offense, strike hard, strike fast, while Fuel is more so take the hits and then return to sender at 5 times extra.
Yeah, I think Fuel, they can definitely fight back. As soon as they live those first engages, those ultimates come out for BPCU, then they can kind of start to play. I mean, you have that Shockwave, you have that Ezreal consistent damage. Wukong Cyclone as well can do so much. We'll have to see how they're going to pilot this one.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back, everybody, into Game 2. Fuel looking to bounce back after a pretty rough loss last game. It looked okay in the mid or early game, right? But as soon as mid-game hit, as soon as those comps started to get online, BPCU kind of just ran away with it. Seeing Horus now doing a little bit of a face check into the Pantheon level 1. Will lose that level 1 trade as he gets a spear thrown right into his backside. Is going to lose a little bit of health, but won't be in too much trouble as Boo trying to trade aggressively here mid, but is going to get walked at by Val. And a knockback, a flash knockback. Boo might have to burn his own flash here as he's just going to be able to walk out safely. And now Superboy's the one that's in trouble. First Blood is going to go over to Fuel. Horus going to pick that up. First Blood doesn't really mean too much nowadays, but a very aggressive play to set the tide of this game already for BPCU with a flash knockback from Val, level 1. Which means now you have no flash on your Alistar, and your Akali has already started the game 0-1. As your Wukong starts the game with a longsword, we'll be able to get back for his clear just in time. So a good start to the game for Fuel for sure. 400 gold lead already, as that 1 kill plus those assists are going to come in. Great catch there for HDK on that side. Now they should be able to make a little bit of play here bot lane as they know that there's no flash on an Alistar.
Yeah, no, that was a really good catch right at the start. Much earlier time for skirmishes than compared to last game. And already you can see HTK and Zan going in for another engagement, already taking Oo's health down by half, with Val coming in to assist. But is it going to be enough of a response? We know HTK on that Poppy is brutal. The hammer is coming in, gets stunned out and launched, but Zan and HTK run with it, just picking off those minions. And this skirmish in the bot lane could either just be exchanges of fire, or we might see a casualty.
Fuel's bot lane is very ahead right now. You see who's getting caught, does have to burn that pot early, but does have those cookies, so we'll be able to keep the health even. As Val, though, is going to be in trouble. A good cancel there for HDK onto the knockup, as Val's just going to fall instantly to Zan, rocking that PTA Q auto, or auto Q E auto. He's going to get that kill, and a second kill here for the side of Fuel's bot lane. It seems like Val might have a little bit of problem in the lane phase. So far, struggling to get, has been picked off quite a few times bot lane. Which means I think Fuel can maybe punish this. You can play aggressively. You know there's no flash Alistar. See Horus keep on playing towards the strong side of bot. You have a weak side top laner. Guru will be okay. He will fall behind a little bit. But the whole point of picking the Scion is that you don't really need to help him.
Yeah, it's the Scion can really hold their own. They are brutal. Boo getting shorted out, but HTK is there to assist. But not really do. Oh, there we go. HTK going in for the stun. And already Fuel claiming the feat of warfare.
And that was a flash burn for Superboy, looking to one-shot Boo on the outside of that shroud, but just gets caught into the wall by HDK. HDK completely running this game, been in all 3 kills so far, has already started off beautifully with his Poppy. But last time we saw HDK play Poppy, the early game started so well for Fuel, but then it just fell apart. So we'll see, as 2 early games now, Fuel has been in quite a solid lead. Can they bring this into middle game? Can they bring this into late game and close this one out? As the comp of BPCU, once they fall behind, it's quite hard for them to play. It's not like their last comp where they can play when they're even or behind, but especially when they're ahead. This comp, for them, they have to be ahead because they have to set the tides. They have to play these engages. They have to find these angles. They have to dive aggressively. If Fuel can survive due to item advantages, health advantages, level advantages, but in the meantime, Moldo is just going to get a clean 2 there, top rather. I mean, 2 people, a gank there for Pantheon. He's going to find it, but Zan's going to kill Ooze in bot lane there, as play there again for the bot lane of Fuel, just just punishing the overstepping of BPCU's bot lane when they're just behind.
Yes, and already, and you can even see it's still almost a 1k gold lead between both sides. Really, really holding it. Well, now it's just a 900k. Now it's a 1k gold lead.
Gold lead, and it's going to be all in bot lane. 4K or 300 for HDK, and almost a 800 gold lead already for Zan, who is again starting off hot. We'll see if he can bring this one into the mid game, into this late game, and keep it up, or if he's just going to find these early leads, not find too much afterwards. We'll see, as Ezreal can't probably to do it. I mean, this Ezreal has so much value in this comp, as you just can kite out any engage. You have that arcane shift, you have flash, you have barrier. You're so mobile in this comp. Superboy yet again fighting Boo. He is going to miss the shuriken flip. It will catch HDK, which means Boo will once again be able to be bailed out by his support, but the lane is not looking super great, as HDK is going to face
HDK
into the
Pantheon.
Vow is here, so HDK is going to be in trouble. Horus is just a little too late on the play. HDK just going to try to burst down this Pantheon, who does have that shield, as Horus flash over auto. Superboy now looking for that shroud, trying to find Ooze on the side. Is going to fall to Horus, but Ooze is here. A double kill for the side of Fuel. What looked like it could have just been a clean 2 for 0 for the side of BPCU ends up being a 2 for 2, as both the Pantheon and the Akali are going to overplay it, as Zan keeps this pressure up in bot lane.
And Zan getting a really good long shot onto Ooze, taking a quarter of their health out. Even though it's not much, that tag can do. Those tags still do something.
Those tags do indeed, especially with how much damage the Ezreal has right now. Should have the Sheen very soon.
I keep forgetting that Ezreal's like really good with range.
But yeah, Ezreal gonna get engaged on here as Val, looking for something, but again, he just still doesn't have really the levels or the items, and he's just gonna fall to 1 HP. It won't be a kill, as Zan's flash is gonna go wide, and the last few will not hit. So close, but just barely out, and now Zan does not have the flash.
Now they just have to hold the bot lane. You can see Superboy moving up towards the mid to try and maintain and hold a front. HDK going, taking some of the health grubs just to get some health back, get ready for another engagement. The Wukong coming up in the middle. Monopoly, though, taking out Guru again at the top. That last stand from Sion coming out, but it's just not enough. However, only 1 second spawn timer. They're already back into play. HDK and Zan holding off on the bottom, getting ready to try and ambush Ooze, as well as Val, who's back coming in. Full health, ready to go. And we see an engagement near the mid lane as a 2 versus 1 as Superboy and Pantheon go after Boo and gets absolutely shredded.
Beautifully played there by Superboy, hitting that shuriken flip into the perfect execution, going to easily pick off Boo. In the meantime, Fuel's trying to start up this break. Pantheon's not going to be able to play on this as Fuel will get it as they have the bot push, and the mid laner is just too low, has no cooldowns. So they will get this first Drake yet again, as they got the first 2 Drakes last game. Horus is 3-0 in this game so far. A very good lead for the Wukong, as well as your AD carry being up. But outside of that, it's looking a little rough. Top's for sure going to be in a decent amount of trouble here, as he's going to be 0-2, down 20 CS yet again. As yeah, mid's, he's, body's up 2-0, but he's actually down CS. Mid only able to get 40 CS. The Akali keeping even, but neither are really happy with their CS score here.
Yeah, no, not currently. And the Void Grubs out of spawn. Ooze not looking good in the health department, getting tagged out, but it is enough to maintain survivability, channeling into that tower. But the assault is coming out. HTK and Zan just holding it. They do not want to risk engaging underneath that tower. They do pick out Val. But Val goes in for an attack. Might be very risky, but HTK is at half health. But HTK just goes for it, takes out Ooze, which means they're just going to follow through despite they're just saying, hey, I don't care if the towers attack me. We're killing this thing.
Nice little double kill here for the side of Fuel, but instead just not playing the dive correctly. HTK has to tank one more auto there, but instead Zan's going to tank it, get knocked up by the Pulverize from Val, which means the Grubs top lane are going to be taken here for BPCU, and it's going to be a 1-for-2 on the side of bot lane. Now, HTK, a nice shockwave there for Boo, is going to find Superboy, but just barely doesn't have the damage to finish it off, or the ability to catch up. As Horus, though, is going to be looking for this pick, but will not be able to find it, as Superboy will be able to get out, but it's just going right back to mid lane, which Horus means has this split with Christian. He looks for a W over, but Superboy looks for something, does pick off Boo, and Horus is not going to find the pick. He's just going to get outplayed. Superboy finds that perfect execution, immediately out one-shots Boo, and keeps themselves alive. What started with 0-3 is now 3-3, and Fuel, again, have fallen behind in the gold department. As not
just a 400 gold difference, though.
When you're up against a comp with so much damage, so much play potential as this BPCU comp, you never want to be behind.
That is true, because then, you know, item buying goes into the favor of BPCU, and engagement from Yao and HTK just tagging each other in the jungle, but not enough. But you do see Zan coming in for assistance, Horus waiting as well. Val does fall back. It's not necessarily enough, but they are maintaining a stable front line on this bot lane. But you can also see in the top lane as well, there is some stability, some skirmishes in the mid lane, which is, again, currently normal, especially going into this early sentence of the mid game. But in the top lane, you can see Guru has pushed them back.
Yeah, Guru has indeed, but he's still in trouble. He's down 30 CS here in the weak side, as he's just been kind of ganked up by the side of the Pantheon. And Moladoy, yet again, I mean, was the star last game outside of the Darvin, and again is doing so much. The bot lane for Fuel still fighting back, trying to keep this lead, as they do have item advantages because of that Sheen having just more value than that recurve bow of Ooze, as well as HDK almost at his own dead man's plate here. He's just going to walk in front. He's just going to stand between the wave and the players, as Val can't engage. Does have that unbreakable will now, so we'll be able to live those bursts, as well as the killer instinct for Ooze. I mean, he'll be okay, but they do have barrier coming up, flashes up as well, as well as like just trading aggressively on the Guru, and Guru might be in trouble. Does live, but had to use the ult. The ult's not going to find him. Moladoy messing up this dive as Guru forces the flash out. Zan and HDK going to be able to survive that gank from Pantheon and actually get one themselves. But Zan playing a little aggressive here, just wants to find that damage. Gets caught on the flash by the spear stab from the Pantheon. Horus here top lane to pick off Moladoy. Will be an easy clean up a nice shutdown into the pocket of your Wukong, who really has to be the star of the show this game. A 4-0 Wukong can kind of deal with pretty much every member of BPCU in one way or another. So we need to see Horus try to impact these team fights. Ooh, and miss the shockwave of Superboy. Perfect execution. The Akali just walking over this Orianna in the mid lane. This matchup so hard. Ori just can't do anything when you get dove on. Pick this matchup. As now, Fuel, they're going to be keeping the deficit to just around 6. Okay, as Horus is going to be in the mid lane. Superboy should fall shortly. But Horus gets juked out on there. Has to flash eat here. Will catch out Superboy with the last auto inbound as the Shuriken flip. It's not
Oh, there we go.
Smash, but just not what you want there if you're Horus. Overplay. Thankfully, somehow does not have a shutdown despite being 5-1 with 94 CS. So will be able to get bailed out instead of giving out a shutdown to the side of BPCU, but it's still just a little harder to kill than it should have been on the Akali there.
And now 11-10 with now a 600
400 gold lead, yeah. It's
23.1 to 22.7. It is still getting close in the gold lead, but in BPCU's advantage.
Yeah, but the Drakes spawned up here. Fuel, they definitely want to play on it. They do not have Wukong Flash or ult, though. That is your strongest member right now. 6k in his pocket. He has a full Triforce, plus a Tunneler, plus a tier 2 steel caps. And impossible to deal with Wukong for the side of BPCU, but at the same time, you just don't have your cooldowns. Ult will be up in about 40 seconds. Just a little too long. Fuel, they have to stall this dragon out. As it looks like Horus might be getting contested by Superboy here. Will clear out the Scuttle Crab. Going to go to the camps. Be able to get his Gromp and Wolves before anything from BPCU. HDK wants to find something here as all summoners are up on the side of BPCU's bot lane. Zan, no flash as he flashed in last fight. So summoners, advantage to BPCU. Ultimate advantage to BPCU.
And as we can see here, we might see a fight go out. Horus starting with Pantheon, following through with HDK and Zan who fall back. The Horus gets taken on and flanked out by Superboy, who gets taken out. The Ezreal goes out, shredding Superboy. Just not enough to even take him down by half. HDK going in on the assault through the jungle, but again, it seems there was just a little skirmish and a fallback, not an official committed team fight.
Now Fuel have to sack this dragon. Now HDK wants to pick off Ooze. Will end up getting it with that Ignite kick down, as now Val and Pantheon here to stop HDK. Can Zan fight it back? A good knock-up by HDK, trying to get as much damage out as possible, but the unbreakable will of this Alistar means he just doesn't take any damage.
Yep, and
Has
there
so
goes
much
Zan.
damage resistance there. Zan does fall in the end, and honestly, it just starts off Horus getting picked off by Superboy on the flank as you're walking into. You just don't have any vision in your jungle. Right now, the only vision in the bot side jungle of Fuel is a control ward for the side of BPCU. In the meantime, though, Boo and Guru going to make a play onto top lane. Oladoy will fall as they have to go back to their spirit eventually. It actually looks to punish Boo. Does seem to survive as Boo has to play the slow chase. Horus is here. Boo picking it up to get a little bit extra gold into his pocket. 13-13. It's now about almost a 2k gold lead for the side of BPCU as the Drake is going to stay standing. No Drakes committed there for the side of BPCU. Feel able to fight them off. Horus has ult back up now, so you can look for something as the Wukong, but HDK is in trouble. He dives in with the Blast Cone. Is forced to use that W to get out. As now Horus engages in the Pantheon, walking fearless as he knows that was behind him. Cyclone from Horus is going to get caught by Superboy. 3-man Cyclone, but it's just a one-shot inside of BPCU as Superboy is going to keep chasing, finds Zan. In the meantime, who uses Barrier, survives it because of HDK's W. Gets a shutdown for himself, so a little bit of a survive, but the Pantheon and the Alistar are in wait. They're looking for a dive, but Fuel going to be able to escape with just a recall. A 1-for-1, but it's not what you want if you're Fuel.
No, exactly. And with the kills now even and the gold lead still being held immensely in BPCU's hands. Just like last game, it seems Fuel, they're on the early, and then something happens in the mid where they lose momentum, and then things like this happen.
Who's in trouble, gets 3-manned here on the mid lane, which means now this Drake is pretty much guaranteed. HDK, though, fighting back against the enemy jungler here. BPCU actually have the ability to get in the objectives. They are going to be taking the top side camps of Horus here. That red buff sure to fall for the side of Molodoi, as Guru has to walk so safe. This is what you have to do when you know the enemy team's in your jungle. You have to walk the safest path possible to get under this turret, this wave out. But because of this, because of the fact that HDK was able to push out Pantheon, you will be able to collect the second Drake despite the deficit in that play. Not having the ults, not having the summoners. Superboy might be in trouble, gets caught by the charge there for HDK as Zan. He dashes forward with that arcane shift, looks for that mystic bolt, finds one, but it's just not enough damage here. He's getting close to his Muramana here. When he can really start to shine. 2-3 items is when this Ezreal starts to come online. But a 2-item Pantheon, he's somehow in the same spot as Horus. As Horus bought those tier 2 boots. Keeper's Verdict goes wide for HDK, but a good W there to stop the Superboy dash in. But Zan again playing aggressive. A good E ult, trying to find as much damage with that flash. Value. Ooze might fall in the end, but it looks like all members of BPCU are just going to live with a sliver of HP as Fuel. Going to fall 1-0 there. HDK going to fall eventually after looking for Ignite play on Ooze. The barrier there going to keep him alive. Is now a TP behind. Zan has to fight his way out of this somehow. Looks for Ooze, but just gets caught by the Void Seeker right to the face.
Yeah, that fight was just not beneficial. You can even see here in the mid lane, not looking well as the teams are converging. The bot lane, there was no stopping it currently. Superboy takes out Horus. The Wukong now once again falling to the Akali. And it just seems that BPCU is holding on and is pushing this front line.
Superboy really piloting those Akali fantastically. You know, fell a couple times early, started the game 0-3, now 7-5. So really, if we ignore those early deaths, 7-2, right? A fantastic game.
The early deaths don't count.
I mean, those deaths, one was the level 1 play, right? And then one was a play on I believe, a dive, if I'm not mistaken, bot. So just overall, you know, since those deaths has not really fallen much, it's just able to find so much value with this Akali diving in. Even took a greedy rune. I didn't even realize took Doran's ring here into the lane versus the Orianna. Usually has a shield to survive. Kaisa going to take a page out of Zan's book and just go a little bit too aggressive there. Is going to fall, but in the meantime, Horus is going to get picked off by the Yone, but actually HDK and Zan are here to kill off Molodoi, and it's an overplay for BPCU.
And now they are just chasing Val through the jungle.
There's a Scion
but
there.
the escape
falls
right into the Scion and smack.
Zan going to pick up that last kill. A good play there, side of Fuel. Just BPCU overplaying. I mean, Oz gets picked off in the mid lane, and then Molodoi and Vow are trying to pick off Horus in the jungle. But that Wukong is 2 items plus tier 2 boots. So tanky, especially when your only damage source is a Yone who gets stopped by those skill caps. Just able to survive out. This Wukong still able to do so much in this game. So has fallen a couple times the last time. They just want this turret. They don't really care about this Pantheon. Guru doesn't have to. But Zan might. Has to arcane shift out eventually. But he's going to get caught by a stab there. Ooze. Pantheon surviving due to Sundered Sky is going to survive as a double kill here for Ooze, who's going to be able to pick out those kills with Killer Instinct. Dive in. Zan thinking he can do a little bit more damage. Try to one-shot the Pantheon there, but just doesn't quite have it.
I think the issue is they're getting greedy. They see the low health and they try to go in, but the problem is BPCU has all these abilities to stop damage, temporary health, everything, and they're just overextending because they think they can get it when in reality they're just tickling them again.
Oh boy, might be in trouble here though as the Cyclone comes in for Horus. We'll be able to pick off Val eventually as well, but actually Pantheon and Ooze are here, and in fact, Pantheon's ulted out. This can be just play the Otacon.
Do it. Go HDK.
No, Horus just has to hit the Otacon here. He has Smite. But instead he over chases for Ooze, and now the Otacon, the one-timer you have there is going to fall. A little bit of a misplay there for sure. Thinks to pick off Ooze there, but you have the Pantheon ulted out. He cannot get into the play. And you have the Smite advantage. You can finish the Otacon. It's at 3k. HDK understands it. Uther does not. now. BPCU running away with this game. A 5K gold lead now. It feels like one in Fuel had that Otacon play. The steal there may have fallen as the double tier 2 turrets are going to fall in both bot and mid. The charge for the Herald from the Pantheon is going to go towards the mid tier 2 here as he drifts it towards. And the mid tier 2 is going to fall as well. All 3 tier 2 turrets on the map are going to fall. The gold lead balloons 7,000.
And that is absolutely insane. The front line has been pushed all the way to Fuel's doorstep. Fuel needs to find a match now if they want to stay out of this. You can even see it's taking 3 people to take out 1 person.
Good chase there, though, is a little bit of a saving grace as looking for something. The mid tier 2 did not fall. It seemed like a turret died in the same time as the turret as he drifted into it, but it's still so low. I mean, now the Drake is up. Fuel, they have to play for Drake stacking. They have to. They have to play for Soul. It's their only angle. Val might be in trouble here, but you can't really invest too much on this Alistar who has Unbreakable. He doesn't have the Unbreakable though.
Here we go, here we go.
Chases without it, as Horus is now diving on the back line, but he's just going to get exploded after killing 1. Ooh, now in trouble. Shockwave is not available as every member of Fuel is about to fall to the side of Superboy and Ooze. It's just Zan and Uru left alive, and Zan stuck on a mid-wave. Does survive that Void Seeker, but it's not going to be enough.
And the
It's
tower
just going to fall here. Flashes away, but gets caught by those last few stray bullets from the Kaisa Q. Uru bound to fall to Pantheon here. Misses the spear, but it doesn't matter as gold lead almost 10k now. Fuel, your 1 angle falls as soon as it begins. Now the Drake could be taken away. No soul point on the card for Fuel. The bounties are up. There's 2 700 gold shutdowns on the map. You have to play for these. You have to just start making plays. When you're this far behind as a team, your play has to just, you don't need to make the correct play. You just need to make a play as a team onto the same target.
Yes,
So
and right now,
I need
just
to
start
see-
making plays.
I need to see Sidewind. I need to see something, some sort of thing of life. It looks like Boo is getting engaged on yet again top, though, as does seem to be able to survive it out. Superboy actually going to be the one chunked out. Did have to use the perfect execution to escape. As bot play here, HDK and Horus going to get traded out. But Molodoi just going to be able to live after chunking HDK to just below half. Horus gets knocked out by Val. Nothing can be found there. Just Fuel. They're on the back foot for sure. Horus has about 7 kills. He's quite strong, about almost at his GA. GA is already collected for Pantheon, so it's still a single lead for the side of BPCU. Mid lane finishes up his Seraphs and his Roa, so he's going to be only 1 level down despite things that have been happening. It's up CS as well, but Zan is down 40 CS ever since this Kaisa got ahead. He's just not at his Sereldas yet. He needs that Sereldas. There's a 4-item Kaisa on the enemy team who's, what an early game looked rough, has completely taken over. They're going to 4-man kill Molodoi, but is it enough as Superboy is here, looks on Zan. A little bit of an overplay though.
Oh.
A 4-man pulverize for Val, but I think this is still just a little bit of an overplay here for the side of BPCU. They have to just play out. Lewis is in trouble, but Val does not care. They're playing it slow. Shockwave finds 2, but it doesn't have the damage. Horus neither has, just doesn't have damage to break through the health bars of Fuel, or of BPCU, and Fuel gonna get aced in the game. Likely to end here on this bot wave, or maybe the mid wave instead. Actually, bot wave is here. Next respawn, 20 seconds for HDK. Has that Keeper's Verdict. He can maybe keep the game alive, but it's not going to be a pretty one. It's 12k gold lead for BPCU. They're marching into the base, but it seems like they're just going to take a double inhib and leave.
Yeah, they might as well just take out the inhibs, get the Winions in, and then just keep going. These towers are falling. The inhibitors are about to fall. It'd be too risky to push for the Nexus because the entirety of Fuel is spawning now.
Fuel's respawning, and on these trades, you have so many shutdowns. Right? You have 2 1k gold shutdowns on the map. Now, Superboy seems to have been picked off by HDK here. Does he find the damage, though? 1 more auto, as well as beautiful ult into E away. Superboy piloting this Akali to perfection, just finding these escape angles, playing so slippery. as able to find last fight you saw him burn Zan's cooldowns and then still was able to impact the fight afterwards despite losing a little bit of health. Now, Fuel, they want to get these shutdowns right. If you're BPC, you don't want to over push into turret Nexus because you can fight in when you're acting to lose. You lose these shutdowns, and then all of a sudden the game, it's still in a very good spot for you, but it's a little bit worse, right? There's going to be a 2k gold influx into Fuel's pockets, as well as they pick the other kills off. It'll end up being roughly around 3-4k.
Yeah, and you can even see, like, look, it is 61.1k to 48.6k.
Yeah, and 5k of that lead is in the bot lane. The Heisa here for Ooze has been completely
here we go, here we go, here we
unstoppable.
go.
As a fight here, Superboy finds Boo. Zan going to be in trouble as it looks like the middle fight is, it just seems to be falling apart. Horus going to fall shortly. Zan going to be 1v1ing the AD carry. Does end up winning it out as a trade. But does it matter when your whole team has fallen?
No.
It's just Guru left alive to stop Moladoi's split push. But what is a split push if you have 4 members of your team to attend? Fuel to lose 2-0 to BPCU. All another match. The ECAC tier 1 division.
Unfortunately, you can see the Nexus is falling. It's at half, to a quarter, 10%, and boom.
Game is going to Bruton Park or Christian University going to take a 2-0 victory over Fuel. They're going to go to, I believe, 3-2 in the standings. We're going to head to
Yep, 3-2
now. So not what you want if you're a Fuel fan. That game, it started out good. The early games today have been very good for Fuel, but it feels like as soon as those mid games, as soon as those team fights start to happen, something goes wrong.
So what Fuel needs to do going into their next series of games, they have to go back to the drawing board. They need to figure out what goes wrong between early game to mid game, because they have something in the early game, but something happens where their mid game combat ability just falls apart.
Yeah, it just feels like there's a lot that's definitely going on inside the team. It might
They got to hit the drawing board.
I think yeah, maybe have to hit the drawing board, figure out these mid games, maybe rethink some of the strategies. We'll see if
I know I joke like Fiddlesticks top, and I'm trying to actually think like tactically, like what needs to happen in the mid game, because there needs to be a solution.
you just need to find these angles, you need to find these communications better. You're just not grouping at the right times. You're getting picked off on the sides. There's a lot of things to change.
Like a lot of like isolation, annihilation. They get isolated and they get annihilated.
For sure. We'll see if we can chat with one of the players to maybe get an insight onto what is happening in the team. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
club and I've been thinking lately about the night that you left and told me that you hate me. But then, man, I seen you kissing at that place we always drinking. Is the reason that I'm singing. One more shot is what I'm missing. I know I will risk it all, 'cause you're my fireball. You won't have to crawl when you gon' fly away with me. The way you lift me up, just can't get enough. Pull me out the dust, then you take me higher. This that love that don't expire, no. I got that undivided love, my fireball. Don't need no drinks when I can vibe with you. Don't need no green when I can fly with you. These lights are falling down on us right now. Yeah, and you're still shining bright. Don't need no drinks when I can vibe with you. Don't need no green when I can fly with you. These lights are falling down on us right now, and you're still shining bright. I would risk it all, 'cause you're my fireball. You won't have to cry when you can fly away with me. The way you lift me up, I just can't get enough. Pull me out the dust, then you take me higher. This that love that don't expire, no. I got that undivided love, divided love. 'Cause I will risk it all, oh, 'cause you're my fireball. You won't need to grow when you can fly away with me. Don't need no drinks when I can vibe with you. Don't need no green when I can fly with you. These nights are falling down on us right now, and you're still shining bright.
Welcome back, everybody. We are joined by Omega Boo, the captain of the team and the mid laner as well. How are you feeling after that one?
Using the full government name, huh?
It's what was shown on the little splash.
Pretty good, or as good as the result shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we just have some stuff to work on, but it's whatever.
I think definitely, and I mean you can take a good page out of this. I think your early games, both games, were quite good, honestly. I think you guys got a solid lead, especially bot lane, in the early lane. I think just a little bit of changes here in mid and late game, and the games could be very different for sure. So I don't think it's a complete, downer. I think there's definitely some ups to this game, but overall, I'm wondering how do you feel that your game was playable? How do you feel like? So you picked Victor in game 1, right? Let's say.
Yeah.
I personally wasn't the greatest fan. I think, but I feel like. How do you think? What was your thought process going into that pick, I guess?
I think other than Jarvan, there weren't that many ways for them to actually get onto me. So I think if I just play like a little bit safer, just wait out his combo, I might be able to play and then hit and do a lot of damage. We did need like a bit of damage just because we went like Ashe, Ornn, and like Xin Zhao or something. So we did need some AP damage. Kassadin could have been an option, but I don't know if you've seen, but there have been some incidents. But yeah, I think Victor was fine. I think it was just annoying for me to play mid to late game.
I think also like going into those early games, like your combat proficiency, there were your early skirmishes, which were really, really good, and then those early team fights, you had the advantage. But once again, this moment it went to mid game and end game, the damage proficiencies of all 5 of you just kind of fell off, and then you're being suppressed, you're being airborne, you're being rooted. It just seems like there was a lot of status debuffs being put against you, that there was just not a way for you guys as a team to really capitalize on a lot of your combat ability.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's you know what? We're correct. I think that's a great assessment, honestly.
But what do you think, to go off of that, because that was just from my perspective, to go off of that, my question is just what do you think you need to do to go into like new games to kind of either balance out the combat ability or kind of start going into that combat superiority, especially just champion wise?
I think we were pretty happy with our team comp. I think when we are drafting, we draft in mind of like playing these team fights well. I just think our execution and communication isn't too great right now. I think our timings are off, but I think if we can kind of pull it together, like we can continue our good early games into mid and late.
Yeah, definitely. I think, well, thank you very much for joining us, of course. Best of luck in the rest of the season, hoping for a bounce back coming soon. But before we go, let's take a quick look at our schedule. You'll be seeing some Valorant tomorrow, Tuesday. I feel like I feel like Rocket League probably. Wednesday, likely to be some COD. Thursday, CS, Rocket League, League.
Could be
Friday,
anything.
Overwatch, League, CS. Got a wide open thing of games this upcoming week. And then the Saturday, we have our LAN, which is a pretty big event for
Oh
sure.
yeah, our Battle of the Forest City LAN, our whole charity live stream, multi-title battle between us and Western University, all charity donations going to Extra Life. So make sure to either tune in live or join us in person here on campus.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be an absolute blast. With that, I've been Newt.
I've been Dragon.
I'm Boo.
We will see you in the next stream.